In the heart of Canada's energy sector, a pivotal moment is unfolding as Alberta's government pushes for the construction of a new pipeline that could change the course of energy production and export across the country. However, for the project to move forward, Alberta will need the backing of the BC government, a province known for its strong environmental policies and skepticism toward pipeline development. The debate surrounding the proposed pipeline has sparked a national conversation on economic growth, environmental protection, and Indigenous rights, all of which will play a role in determining the future of this controversial project. At the center of this conversation is Alberta's Energy Minister, who has made it clear that BC's support is crucial for the success of the pipeline. This project is vital for Alberta's economy and for Canada's broader energy strategy, the Energy Minister states, to maximize our oil sands potential and strengthen Canada's energy exports. We need efficient infrastructure that connects Alberta's resources to global markets. BC's support isn't just beneficial, it's essential for smooth execution. Without it, the project faces delays and challenges. Alberta views the pipeline as an economic opportunity, one that will provide significant benefits to both the province and the country as a whole. However, achieving this requires collaboration, not just with the federal government, but also with its western neighbor, BC, whose approval is a critical step in the approval process. On the other hand, BC's Premier has expressed significant caution in supporting Alberta's pipeline proposal, citing environmental concerns and the rights of Indigenous communities. While we understand Alberta's economic needs, we have a responsibility to our citizens and the environment, the Premier explains. We need to evaluate the ecological impact, particularly in sensitive areas. There are concerns regarding our coastal ecosystems and Indigenous rights that need addressing. Any project moving forward must respect both BC's environment and the rights of our Indigenous communities. For BC, this isn't just an economic issue. It's a question of values and responsibilities toward the environment and its Indigenous populations. BC has historically been resistant to pipeline projects due to concerns about the impact on its forests, rivers, and coastal ecosystems, which play a critical role in the province's environmental and economic well-being. Environmental groups, too, have expressed their opposition to the pipeline. For many, the issue is clear. The environmental risks associated with oil pipeline construction are simply too great. An environmental activist explains, "We have serious reservations about the environmental impacts. The pipeline threatens fragile ecosystems, and more importantly, it risks further climate change. There's also the issue of potential oil spills. Once those happen, they're catastrophic. This isn't just about one province, it's about our collective future. We need sustainable solutions, not more fossil fuel infrastructure." The activists' concerns reflect a growing movement within Canada and across the world, calling for urgent action on climate change and the transition to renewable energy. With global attention focused on reducing carbon emissions, the proposed pipeline represents a step backward for many environmental advocates who argue that the focus should be on cleaner, greener energy sources. Adding to the complexity of the issue are Indigenous communities who live along the proposed pipeline route. For many of these communities, the pipeline represents not just an environmental threat, but a challenge to their sovereignty and rights. An Indigenous leader explains, "This project raises many questions. The consultation process has been flawed in the past, and we're concerned about the erosion of our land rights. It's not just about a pipeline, it's about protecting our traditional lands and ensuring that we have a say in the decisions that affect us directly. We need more than just lip service, we need meaningful consultation and respect for our rights." This sentiment reflects the ongoing struggle faced by Indigenous communities across Canada, as they work to assert their rights over lands and resources that have been historically ignored or overlooked by government policies and corporate interests. Despite the challenges, Alberta's proposal for the pipeline has garnered support from certain sectors, particularly those within the energy industry. Energy analysts see the pipeline as a critical piece of infrastructure that could enhance Canada's energy export capacity and create long-term economic benefits. One analyst states, "The pipeline is significant not only for Alberta's economy, but for Canada as a whole. It could significantly boost export capacity, create jobs, and provide long-term economic benefits." But the challenges are clear. Environmental concerns, Indigenous rights, and interprovincial relations all play a part. Both provinces will need to find common ground, balancing economic development with environmental protection and social justice. Alberta views the pipeline as a necessary step to securing its place in the global energy market, particularly as the world moves toward cleaner energy sources. The province's oil sands are among the largest reserves of oil in the world, and the demand for Canadian energy, particularly in Asia, continues to grow. The proposed pipeline's route will traverse several diverse landscapes, raising concerns about its impact on communities and ecosystems along the way. The construction of the pipeline will cut through forests, rivers, and indigenous territories, raising questions about the potential environmental damage, particularly in the event of an oil spill. Public consultations are underway, and citizens are voicing their concerns in town hall meetings, where the debate has become heated. While some see the pipeline as an economic opportunity, others fear it will come at the expense of their environment and community well-being. The project's fate hinges not only on the approval of BC and Alberta, but also on the federal government's ability to balance these competing interests. As the debate continues, the future of Canada's energy infrastructure remains uncertain. Alberta is pushing forward with its pipeline proposal, but BC's approval remains a significant obstacle. Both provinces must find a way to address the environmental and social concerns raised by various stakeholders, while ensuring that the economic benefits of the project are fully realized. The outcome of this battle will shape the future of Canada's energy policies and its approach to balancing economic growth with environmental responsibility. In the pursuit of progress, Alberta and BC stand at a crossroads, where collaboration and compromise will determine the future of Canada's energy landscape. The stakes are high, and the country's path forward will depend on finding common ground that respects both economic needs and environmental concerns, with both sides holding firm on their positions. The coming months will be critical in determining whether a mutually beneficial solution can be found.